before we begin with our Cthulhu Nights adventure, I had a really nice message from Aaron, who asked about how I film my videos regarding particularly the angle. And if you'll just hold on to your lunch for a moment as I lift the tablet up and show you. It's on this thing, which attaches to the shelf here. Now, any normal person would use a camera and a tripod, but I am not normal, so that is how I film my videos and get this strange angle. So let's crack on. This is Cthulhu Nights with Noah Patterson, another of his classics. He wrote the micro chapbook RPG, and he also has written a couple of adventures for basic fantasy as well, and many other things. So, a nice bit of Lovecraftian horror. We have Millicent O'Riordan and Patrick McQueen. Yes, they're back. I've put them back to level 1 characters because we're starting a new system. So, and we've got our Mythos cards out. Here you are. So, I've just got this one set because it's all we need to create a Lovecraftian adventure. So these decks of cards, we have the allies, the events, locations, artifacts, spells and tomes, and monsters. So I'm going to draw an ally to give us part of the story. It is, I had a feeling it'd be the top card. I'm going to shuffle again because it looks like I've weirdly cheated. I feel like psychically I knew that would come up. So here we go. Samuel Windsor, steadfast priest. There's English and Latin. Okay, we've got a priest from the ally deck. We'd need an event. I didn't see what was on the top, so it won't matter. A train. Something to do with a train. Okay. We need a location. Where's this train? American Museum of Natural History in New York. Okay, a train to New York related to the museum. Now we need an artifact or spell or tome. Letter from a friend. Okay, let's have a think. Now I've got a really simple oracle over here. Roll your d6. It gives you your result. Yes, but in this case. But I've also got Mythic for this. So I'm going to have a go on this chart. So if we roll, I'm just going to roll on these two charts here. 61. Oppress. 68. Suppress rumour. That is really interesting. Okay. Well, I'm initially sort of thinking that this priest was on the train because he'd been called by a letter from a friend of his, a scientist, who was working at the American Museum of Natural History, and somehow on the train he disappeared, and the story is sort of starting to get out, so we need to locate him or find out what's happened to him before the story gets out, because there's something important in this museum that he was being told about. So I guess the friend who wrote him the letter is the person who's contacted us. Now, we might draw a bit of a red herring here that doesn't really fit. So let's just have a quick go and see if it makes sense. Steadfast police detective. He can be involved. He has been called in by the person who wrote the letter to the priest to see if we can help out, because there is a supernatural element. The priest has disappeared without trace, and there is some other clue. What else could the clue be? Suppressed rumour we've got. Can we roll another thing to find out what the clue might be? 9. Malice. 42. A plot. A malicious plot. So the police chief has discovered that there is evidence of a plot against the priest and his involvement in this thing at the museum, or a plot against the professor who is investigating something and wrote to the priest. So perhaps it's a sinister thing that needed spiritual assistance. So, right, I'll see where we go with that. So I'm going to try and use some of the tiles from Where Darkness Comes. We've arrived at the museum to talk to the professor here and try and find out what this plot was about. So there's a malicious plot against his work. So it is a spiritual thing. I'm guessing it's an ancient artifact. That would make sense. I'm going to draw from the item deck, I think. I'll draw from the artifacts and spells and see if that can give us a bit of direction. So oh my goodness, a spell. Perhaps it's a scroll. Perhaps it's an ancient scroll, and that's why he wanted some spiritual advice about investigating it. So there's a plot to do with this scroll. Perhaps some cultists want to capture the scroll to use it for nefarious reasons. Okay. They thought perhaps the priest would unlock something or ruin its magical powers by blessing it or something and removing the evil from it. So that's perhaps why they've possibly kidnapped him and why he's been made to disappear. So that's what we find out. So we need to, well, this scroll is particularly powerful and needs to be dealt with, or was going to be, by this priest. And so we need to, well, we're going to tell this guy to get extra security on, just in case he's the next target. If they try to steal it, I mean, it must be quite secure, this museum, but we will insist that, or tell the guy to get extra security on it, because there's clearly somebody after it. So we're going to need to try and find out where the guy disappeared and if we can find a trace. I'll just roll for more random stuff to give us another clue. Starting 51. Starting jealousy. Well, when it said starting, I was sort of struck by perhaps he disappeared at the station before he got on the train, or just as he was about to. So the guard took his ticket. He was heading for the train itself, and then he never made it, or he only just made it. So, as I don't have a railway station handy, this is the station hotel, which is just next door. So we're going to inquire here to see if the receptionist spotted anything suspicious. So I think Millicent is going to do the talking. She's good at that. The investigative journalist. So did our receptionist here see anything? Let's just do an oracle roll. 3. No, but she knows someone who did. They mentioned spotting something odd. So yeah, we'll it was the caretaker, maybe. So yeah, we'll talk to the caretaker. So we know the caretaker saw something, and we're going to see if we can have any information from this. Persecute. 96, is that? Persecute the public. Perhaps it's somebody powerful in local government who he spotted at an unusual location with maybe a couple of unsavoury types who were hanging around. Looked like they were loitering with intent near the station, waiting to capture or deal with this priest somehow. So we're dealing with a powerful public figure who may have connections to this cult and may be behind the whole thing. So I'm guessing that he will have a large house that we could investigate. So I think I've got something like that somewhere on these tiles. So we will go up to the house of this person and see if we can spot anything suspicious. I think we're going to approach discreetly from the woods and make our way towards the mansion. Now, I'm going to ask the oracle, is there anybody on guard that we can spot? No. Okay. If there had been, I would have done a check to see if we could spot them, but we can't see anybody on guard outside in this part of the grounds, so we're going to approach. We're going to use our cunning, I think, to try and do we want to break in? I think Millicent will approach from the front, and Patrick will wait outside. So Felicity Kane is the owner of this house. She is an important person in the council, the local council, in a sort of 1920s US kind of way. And we are going to try and bluff our way inside. Yeah. Now the thing with difficulty levels, it's not always easy to choose what would be appropriate. So I've done a little chart here. Roll the d6 to decide what the difficulty level of a thing is. So Millicent will say, I'm terribly sorry to bother you, Miss Kane, but my car has broken down, and I wondered if I could possibly use your telephone at all, if it's not too inconvenient. Can we bluff our way? What kind of difficulty level is this? Oh, it's difficult. It's 12. We can't do that. Oh, we can. Actually, we can. We have a wit of 3. We can roll the die, and then we can spend willpower points to bring that up to 12. So adding this to our wit, that is a 9. We can use 3 willpower points to make that a success. So we are allowed in to use the phone. That's a good start, and Patrick will keep an eye on things. Now, while Millicent is chatting to Felicity and saying, "Oh, what a marvellous house you have here, but it must be you must get rather lonely out up in the wilderness out here in the woods, but you do have a wonderful place." And she'll be looking around for clues, see if she can spot anything suspicious. So we're rolling on the difficulty level again. We have an easy target, so yeah, possibly too easy. Bump it up to medium because you know, she's not stupid. She's going to try and hide any evidence. So we'll use our, what would we use? I guess intelligence or wit. Solving puzzles, reading arcane books, casting dark spells, thinking on your feet, persuading, intimidating, being smart on the streets, along with the social based check. I guess it's intelligence then. So we'll call it medium, bump it up 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 10. Okay, we spot a clue. Okay, we see some evidence that something's not right. Maybe we spot the priest's rosary beads that have fallen down as he was being carried through the hallway, and has dropped down behind a piece of furniture like that chair there. So as we are at this desk with the phone, we can see the priest's rosary beads behind that chair leg. I think Millicent is going to let out her distinctive whistle and Patrick will approach the front door and she will say, "Miss Kane, I know that you are holding Father Windsor here, and I must insist that you release him to us." To which Felicity will not be very keen. Oh, I see we've got some troublemakers, have we? Well, Felicity calls to her own backup members of her cult that she's involved with, and this could get nasty. So I think we've got 2 cultists here and 1 goon, possibly, because cultists are quite fairly tough, I think. So we're going to see who goes first and get underway to try and fight for the freedom of this priest. Okay, this hasn't gone well. I rolled a d6, added our initiative and the enemy's difficulty levels, and the enemies are all going first. So Felicity will attack with her jewel-encrusted ritual dagger that she has. Okay, the 2 cultists have spells, so 1 to 3 they do melee, and 4 to 6 they do a spell. She does a melee attack, she launches in with fury and her dagger. So she rolls a d6, adds 6, automatically hits Millicent, whose defense is really bad, and she causes 4 damage. Immediately, Millicent is out of the game. Oh gosh. Okay, it's not the end of the world. It is though. The other cultist, what does she do? She will cast a spell. She rolls d6 plus her difficulty level, which is 6. 9. His defense is 6. She hits for d6 damage with her arcane fire spell, doing 2 damage. Yeah, never send the scholar into to a fight. So she's gone. This guy is going to charge in and attack hand to hand. He rolls that 5, 6, 7, 8 is difficulty level. 8 beats the defense, and he does 2 damage. This is really not going well. But now it's Patrick's turn. He will... Oh gosh. He's going to charge for this lead cultist who has caused so much aggro. And he will do an attack with his nightstick, I think. Yeah. Well. Okay, 5. Yeah, that's good. 11. He does 3 damage. But now it's her turn. She is in melee, so she has to lose. Actually, when she casts a spell, she loses. They lose 1 health. So as she's quite low, she's probably not going to cast another spell. She's just going to attack with her dagger, adding a 6. 11. She hits. Does 4 damage. Oh gosh. We're going to have to find a way to run away. Otherwise we're going to die. Oh no. I shouldn't have confronted them. I should have snuck in. Well, hey, it's not Critical Role where everyone's immortal. Almost. Right, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. We're down to 2 health. Felicity is gone. The other cultist, what will she do? 4, 5, 6, she'll attack with her spell. D6 plus 5. Oh gosh. That's a hit. She does 3 damage. He is down to -1. And Patrick is down for the count. This isn't good. Will Felicity Kane imprison our heroes, or will she dispose of them? Is the priest still alive, or has he been disposed of? All this and more may be revealed. Thank you very much for watching this first part of this adventure, and perhaps I will find a way to continue it if our heroes can somehow survive this. But thanks very much for watching, and see you soon.